What do you do with the focus wheel when you don't know what the issue is?
Well, if you don't know, don't worry.
I know, don't worry, it'll get
bigger.
worse. I know.
And pretty soon you'll know.
Okay, but it's gotten really big. It's arthritis in my spine, and I know that there is some piece of resistance that I am so used to that I don't even know it. It's just background
well, we just
noise.
spent
What do
the
I do?
last half hour talking about it.
Then why does my back still hurt?
Well, hang around in the vortex a little while and then ask that question.
It feels like the more my life is going at this incredibly wonderful, beautiful rate.
But listen to what you're doing now. You're doing an anti-focus wheel.
Oh, okay. Well,
in other words, you sounded like you said, let's see, what's in the center of my wheel? Why does my back hurt? Well, I think it hurts for this reason, this reason, and this reason, this reason, and this reason, and this reason. Oh, I think I can get some really good synergy going outside the vortex here.
Okay, stop. So what you're saying is I should not be putting any effort into trying to figure out why I have physical pain. I should be thinking of all the things that make me feel so good and ignoring the physical pain.
Put no more effort toward it. Just hear our answer. You have physical pain because you hang around outside of your vortex. Now, you said, when you sat down, you said, oh, life is so wonderful and it's better than it's ever.
It is. I wasn't lying. It's fabulous.
We don't doubt you at all. But the thing you have to consider is that the faster your vortex spins and the more that you have put in it, then the more responsible you must be in being inside of it. Because the more you ask for a wonderful life, then any time you hold thoughts that don't let you in there, you could have 1,000 things that when you think about take you right in the vortex, and one thing like a son or something that you really care about that you think a lot about that holds you outside your vortex. In other words, it doesn't mean that there are big things going on. It means you want to be in there and you're not because you think thoughts that don't let you stay in.
Okay.
You see,
I can be in the middle of feeling really joyful and really just like my heart is so big it just wants to jump out.
We know, and you do that a percentage of the time. But you think you're doing that more than you are because when you're doing it, it feels so good.
Yes,
and you think you're doing it more than you are because when you are doing it, it feels so much better than those times when you weren't doing hardly any of that.
Right.
So you think you're in the vortex all the time. You're not. If you were in the vortex 70% of the time, you would have no physical discomfort in your body. No physical discomfort in your body. When doctors and scientists stop looking for cures and start looking for vibrational discord, which is what's causing the separation in the vibration. In other words, you've heard us say this, but we have to say it again. If you have powerful desire and you are denying it by virtue of chronic thought or belief, you'll have negative emotion. And if you don't notice it and do something, a focus wheel or something, it will become stronger. And why does it become stronger? Because as you hold yourself apart from who you are, the contrast causes you to ask, which makes this spin faster. When you still don't go, the contrast makes you ask again, which this makes spins faster. If you still don't go, the contrast makes you ask for more, which makes this spin faster. If you still don't go, until eventually it's emotion, then stronger emotion, then stronger emotion, then physical sensation, then physical debilitation. In other words, it just gets bigger and bigger because you have two vibrational aspects going on all the time. There's who you've become and who you're letting yourself be. And everything that you are feeling, emotionally or physically, is about those two vibrational relationships and how they are playing with one another.
Okay, talk to me more about how you feel like I think I'm in the vortex more than I really am. I guess I could look at that as a positive thing. That means that, wow, life gets better? That's really neat.
We want you to not be so eager to need to pronounce yourself in the vortex. In other words, when you sat down, we know you wanted to express exuberantly, and you did, and we appreciated and we believed you, the aspects of your life that are wonderful. As we crow about we crow about the vortex and we talk about how you get there and we talk about the laws and we call you in, we don't want to ever give you the impression that step one isn't an important part of the process. Right. So when you're not in the vortex, just say, as Esther says, I'm having a step one moment. I'm having a step one moment. Step one's important to the process too. We just want you to realize that after we visited about your son, Your energy was aligned and you were in the vortex. And then you focused on another problem.
Okay.
And it's logical that you would want to, because here you are in a format where you can ask a question.
Right.
But as you focused on the physical discomfort, you focused yourself right out of the vortex. And we just want to say to you, it's focusing yourself out of the vortex that is responsible for your discomfort.
Okay.
So you say, now wait, my physical pain is an indication that I've been out of the vortex. And then I was in the vortex, and focusing upon my physical pain took me out of the vortex. And we say, exactly. You cannot focus upon the opposite of what you want and stay in the vortex.
Okay,
and being in the vortex is where all your good feelings are.
And you've told the story about the woman who said, how can I be happy if I've got arthritis? And you said, well, you can either be happy with arthritis or upset with arthritis.
Actually, we said physical pain in a vibration of hope is very different than physical pain in a vibration of despair or fear.
Okay.
The vibrational difference between hope and fear is the difference between recovery or not. Because hope is on the verge of the vortex and fear is a long way from it.
Right.
And wellness is in the vortex, in the vortex, in the vortex.
So I feel so much better than I have in the past that I guess I just assume that this is as good as I can feel.
Well, you feel better because there are many things that you've been focusing on to feel better. But you see, what happens is much of the world, rather than getting control of the only thing they can control, which is the direction of their thought, instead they're making piles of right and wrong. And then they're trying to control the wrong piles in order to feel better. Esther was doing a focus wheel one day, not long ago, and brought herself to enormous relief. And then she laughed and said to Jerry, you're going to laugh at how long it took me to figure this one out, but listen to this. She said, I just figured it out. This focus wheel isn't about figuring out how to make them be different. It's figuring out how to make me feel better, period. Because when you figure out how to make yourself feel better with a thought, you've released the resistance that has been separating you from you. And in your wholeness, you must be well. You have to thrive.
So it's not about fixing the pain. It's about making me feel better.
It's about taking the emotional journey. It's about no longer relying on what so many people rely on that doesn't work. Stop trying to control what's not controllable and control what is. You can't make your body stop hurting this red hot minute. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't lose 50 pounds right now. You can't find a lover right now. You can't get $200,000 in your bank account right now. But you can direct your thought in a way that takes away the angst. You can control the direction of your thought. Therefore, you can control the way you feel. And when you do that just for a little while, so that you consistently allow yourself on the verge or into the vortex, now you're in there where the cooperative components are, and now those manifestations can begin to show up in your experience, you see. Control what you can control, which is the way you feel. Why can you control the way you feel? Because you can direct your thought. But you got to practice a little bit. That's why we were so appreciative of your willingness to let us badger you here. Because as we played together, didn't you learn a lot from this conversation? Don't you? Didn't you see how some thoughts were much easier for her to think because they were the most active? And it took a little while for us to focus together in a way that you made other thoughts more active, you see. And then you felt huge relief as you came into alignment. You left behind a big wad of guilt relative to parenting. You left behind a big wad of control about something you can't control. And now, if you can just maintain that ground a little while, it's our promise to you, the discomfort in your physical body will cease because it is a symptom of that misalignment. We'll make one more strong statement, and that is everything you're living, no matter what it is an indication of your vibrational patterns. So if you've got a physical condition, it's just an indication of your vibrational patterns. And when your vibrational patterns shift, as they did just now as we did this focus wheel, and as they will continue to do as you do more focus wheels, as your focus shifts, and therefore your vibrational patterns shift, your indicators have to shift too. And since the physical condition is just an indicator, it will shift too.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.